Hey Samford fans, welcome into another edition of the Samford Sports Wrap-Up. I'm John McAfoose, happy to be joined today by Athletic Director Martin Newton. Martin, appreciate your time.
Oh, always enjoy hanging out with you, Johnny Mac.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the Samford Athletics Hall of Fame. Hard to believe, but the fourth class is about to be inducted. It was just announced this week. Talk a little bit about this year's Hall of Fame class.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. As I was writing the press release, or not writing the press release, giving Joey Mullins a quote for the press release, it dawned on me that this is the fourth class, and it seemed like we just inducted the first class a year or so ago, but the event has become so popular. In fact, one of the most unpopular events on campus, but we had to move from the Regions Room in the Cooney Business School or building to now the Hannah Center Court because the crowds have gotten so big. And this year's class is really a cool class. And one of the best things I get to do as the athletic director, besides hanging out with you, of course, and our 360 student athletes, really one of the best things I get to do is call those people and let them know that they're going to be in the Hall of Fame class. And this year, calling Bobby Jackson and Ephraim Hill, that were football players here, and calling Virgil Ledbetter's grandson, who Virgil obviously passed away a while back, but calling Virgil's grandson and hearing the excitement in his voice, and then Michaela Reeser, who was just a star volleyball player here and did so many great things to get our volleyball program to where it is today, and then Michael Seaman, who was a five-time All-American, and then of course the legendary Pat Sullivan. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. So I'm really excited about this class.
Well, let's talk about what's happening right now with the fall sports. It's been a really good start for football, volleyball, and soccer. In fact, those three combined have gone 7-0-1 so far in conference play.
Yeah, that one. We got, I'm not sure about tying. And I think they've tied like 5 games this year, so we're going to have to work something out on that. But anyway, I know Todd Yelton and his crew continue to just do a great job on the soccer field. I mean, the 5 straight conference championships, but just off to a great start. Football, as you know, we started a little bit slow. Tough game against a very good Youngstown State. Lost a tough game against Tennessee Tech, but man, have they rebounded. Come back, the Citadel game, it had to be 150 degrees on the field the other day. But 4 overtime game, and the resiliency of that program and those kids to just never give up. And I think they learned from the Tennessee Tech loss. So that's been fun. And then Keeler, what he's doing on the volleyball court has just been amazing. That culture that they've got within that program is just so much fun to watch. The girls are starting to really believe what they could be, and I think the sky's the limit for all 3 of those programs. So I'm hoping we continue that. We'll keep that 1 tie and then have 0 in that loss column, and we'll all be happy.
And as fall sports get into SoCon play, it means winter sports also right around the corner. Both men's and women's basketball have started practice. A whole new staff, or mostly a new staff on the women's side. What do you expect from the basketball program?
I watched Carly and her crew practice the other day, and it made me feel really good about the hire that we made. She's got so much energy. You can tell the players really respect her. They're playing fast. I mean, it's a lot of screen and rolls, a lot of if you get it, you go. We're getting up and down the court, and you can just tell that there's a real passion with those young ladies that are playing right now. So I'm looking for big things with that team. We got a couple girls that have transferred in. Once we get them healthy, I think we'll be good. And you've got a good nucleus coming back. And then the men's side, Scott and his staff have put together another nice squad in a very tough Southern Conference. Got some fun early season games. They go to Hawaii, and then they come right back and they play the University of Alabama in the BJCC. So I'm expecting both of those teams to finish in the top half of the league. And then once you get in the top half of the league and you get into a conference tournament, Johnny Mac, anything can happen in a 3 or 4 day window.
And real quick, before we let you go, another big event coming up in a couple of weeks, less than 2 weeks actually, the Samford Classic Golf Tournament, really one of the biggest fundraising events we have.
You know, that thing, Hal Langston came to me with that thing about 5 years ago, and I looked at him like he had 3 heads. I said, you've lost your mind. We're gonna do this for a golf tournament. We're gonna give away this much money and prizes. And what's happened is it's become an unbelievable fundraiser. We'll raise over $200,000 for this event. It's a 1-day event, and what makes that tournament great, Johnny Mac, is that all the people at Samford that volunteer, we'll have over 180 volunteers, and they come in and just do a tremendous job of making people, showing them what the Samford way is. It's a fun day, it's a long day, but it's in October. It never rains October the 14th, so we're excited about the Classic.
Martin, appreciate your time as always.
As always, appreciate you. Best in the business, Johnny Mac.
Samford Athletic Director Martin Newton. That'll do it for this edition of the Samford Sports Wrap-Up. We'll see you next week.